looks like it's up. Chat box is open, and the little meter makes it look like you can hear me. I hope. Tonight's live stream is brought to you by the good folks at Rock God Brewing in Danville, Pennsylvania. The official sponsor of Tuesday Night Live Streams. First comment, Jeff, it goes to you. Good job. Hello, sir. Steve, Colt, Uncle Guns, Crystal, hello, hello. Tiffany, good to see you all. My pals, my friends, maybe a couple strangers, who knows. Gabe, hello. So, smaller list today. Nothing on the back. And I'll try to make this not as long so that everybody that wants to go watch the debate can. I just don't care. It's sad, I guess, but I don't give a fuck. Anyway, Will Crusher, hello, sir. I would like to point out that today, the 29th of September, Monsieur Becker is a year older. He has made another successful trip around the sun, and warm round of applause for Monsieur Becker. It's a sandstorm. Hello, sir. Javier, or Hoppy Bear, as you're known in some circles. Hello, hello. I will be seeing you shortly. Adam Hall, hello, sir. All right, so what do we got going on today? Well, Becker's birthday, I mentioned that. Everyone's favorite ammo whore. I have some of Becker's ammo on my porch. Well, the picture was on my porch, not really. It's not on my porch anymore, but that man is all right with finding of the 9 milli. Ooh, started packing his bag. All right. Let's see. What do we got going on? That's important stuff. You guys want a discount code for something? Maybe. I have one of those. So I was curious, and really, it probably won't help me in the least bit, help figure out traffic and where it comes from and that kind of thing. But because you wonderful people show up just about every Tuesday, and if you all want to buy Target stands, and I know if you did, you probably already would have bought them. So just saying, it might not be that relevant. But I put a picture out on Instagram today with the 8 cases of 9 millimeter. In the background of it was the Target stands that I have left over from the pre-order, so they're technically like in stock. And literally, I ran down to my other computer a minute ago to put a coupon code for $25 off a Target stand with the coupon code LIVESTREAM. See if I can't get that. Oh man, fucking my Bluetooth keyboard is just about out of Bluetooth range of my PC that's over against that wall over there. So sometimes it, yeah. Yo, right back at you, Mr. McConnell. So, You got that. There is, if you want, basically with the $25 coupon code for the Target stands, it makes them the same as they cost back during the pre-order. But I just thought I would see if live stream brought any more actual like purchasing traffic than other methods. So I thought I'd try it. Yes, I need to repaint mine too, Adam. In fact, now I'm not even assembling them to send them out because it already takes them apart to paint them the first time. So, and it saves me a whole bunch of fucking effort. Hello, Scott. You were missed this weekend. Oh, now we're comparing the diagnostics class injuries from person to person. $25 enough for 8,000 rounds of biodegradable airsoft. That probably is true. That number works in there somewhere. I have more stuff, more airsoft stuff showing up. I thought it was supposed to be today, but it wasn't. Instead, UPS brought me ammo today. So maybe one day this week. My ballistic gel over here showed up during the weekend, Saturday, I think. So that's on my agenda. Jason, who is here in the chat this evening, brought me another block. I got to cut out a few little pieces of stuff that he left in there and then melt it down and remold it. So we have 3 blocks to do our solid copper shootout in, but that is coming shortly. However, like not a lot of time left at the moment. I got a dynamic weeks coming up. That's going to kill 7 or 8 days of training in a row. So, oh, Steve, good. I'm glad that someone got in touch. But he brought that to the diagnostics class, which is what Crystal was talking about moments ago. So I have some stuff to talk about that as well. So Trigicon's customer service is, from what I hear and not from what I've experienced, pretty fucking top notch. I think everybody that's ever bought an RMR has returned it for a repair or replacement. I've heard people complain that the battery contacts were easily broken. I have a pretty old MRO and a couple of newer ones. My first MRO has a 3-digit serial number, so it's been around for a while. And I never had an issue with the battery contacts, but some people have. I guess maybe if you weren't so strong, ham-fisted maybe. Oh, that's all right, Crystal. I didn't really take any pictures either. And I realized that when I today was looking for something to put up, and my plan had been to get a bunch of pictures so that I had something from this class since it was the first time running it. And I forgot to snap any photos. Like I took one short video of Mike Fiore walking backwards through a garden of trash from my house and getting hit with a basketball while I was walking and shit. But I didn't really get any pictures either. And I mentioned him by name since he just popped in. Oh, I think I saw earlier Flex and Riffs. Just pointing out, sir, I'm wearing your shirt today. I also wore it in a YouTube video I filmed earlier, which is going live here on the YouTubes in 50 minutes. I scheduled it as over. So your shirt gets a little more publicity. Although I have to say, if you were to make them next level tri-blend, comfortable to wear. Hint, hint. All right. Oh, my mill in the surplus store. I never even thought of looking at a surplus store. I did see that finally my local Dunham's does not have 556. They did for quite some time. It wasn't the cheapest. It was like about 50 cents around. And then that's gone. I didn't buy any at 50 cents around, but they had a couple thousand rounds. Anyway, let's see. What do we got? Oh, we're going to talk diagnostics. So the very first diagnostics class was this weekend. Some of the alumni are here in the group. I do believe that they learned a thing or two from the class. We found some areas where we can spend all kinds of time just going really deep diving into some of the topics that we touched on in that class, but topics we could spend days and days on just one small section, which we didn't have days and days to do that. So we hit a little bit here and there. However, this is the point of the video that's coming up as later. Oh, thank you for the kind words, Crystal. The folks that were in that class have been invited to the Tremis Dynamics development team. I changed it to team because that sounds way better. So in the future, what me and a few close insiders have done in all kinds of different aspects of the training world is we would, put our brain trust together, and then we would pick a topic and we would hash out what we thought the problems were with that topic. And that topic could be tactics, it could be skills, it could be gear. And we would sometimes not, we would spend days working on trying to overcome an issue and not come up with a solution. And other times we did. So part of that also will be to use force to pressure test the things that we're working on in this development team. Well, the folks who came to the diagnostics class are now have an open invite. When we were doing force on force as part of the development process, they can come as well. Because I've personally seen their ability to using force on force pressure test different aspects of their training and then help find a solution to any shortfalls they found. Also, even if they're not the best at it because they're newer students and they haven't seen a bazillion things like some of the guys whose brains I normally pick, it doesn't mean that the guys who are super experienced can't witness what they're doing and help them figure out what the solution to the problem is. So that is a perk. I did not mention it prior to the class selling out because I didn't want anyone to think that it was some type of fucking money grab thing that, he's throwing this other thing in to try to get us to sign up for class. So once it was sold out, I told you all that it was happening. I just didn't publicly talk about it until after I told the folks at the class, which I told them Sunday. So now it's public. Well, for you fellas, thank you, TJ. Thank you, Mike. Remember, it's okay to write an after action review of the class. Doesn't even have to be long. In fact, I might just copy and paste that class was amazing or great class just because. There's my AAR. But either way, the diagnostics, it mostly came off the way I wanted it to. There are some things that I would rearrange or adjust on time. But that's the way it's always going to be the first time you run a class. There was supposed to be a one-day version of this in Texas in the spring. However, the fucking Wuhan got that moved back to the fall. And so this 2-day one was the first one. Speaking of sold out classes over the weekend, thank you, Crystal. I sold out the team dynamics class in November. I decided that if I'm willing to run relays, which I certainly am, I can add a few more slots. So I think I need, if somebody wanted to sign up, I think there's an open slot on the website, because when it sold out in person, I didn't go take it out of the inventory. So I'm just going to leave that open and add a few more extra slots for the team dynamics class in November, which is all carby. Thank you, Jeff. And the team dynamics class, since I added a couple openings, it is my last live fire class in Pennsylvania this year. So, it's, I wanted to see maybe a couple more folks that I didn't get a chance to see this year at class, and maybe give them an opportunity to come out and do some team stuff. We will probably do a warm-up drill where it's just you and a buddy, and everything after that will go to larger groups. There will not just be pairs. We will go to, larger groups per drill than just two. So there's that. Now, because I have a class that's just for two folks, and that is the buddy dynamics in June, which a few folks have asked about the Father's Day, the father and son class. And I was like, whoa, time out. It's a class meant for working with a partner. Because it happens to be on Father's Day weekend, I just decided to throw a dad discount. It's not really like a father and son class. It's a buddy class, a partner class. The Father's Day thing was just an idea for a discount code. So it is a buddy class, a partner deal. M65 field jacket. Back when I used to work outside as a welder, I loved those things, with and without the liner, because it kind of gave you like two different layers of cold protection, and they were affordable enough in the surplus market that if I caught one on fire while I was welding outside, I didn't care too much. And it gives you that old school John Rambo look if you run the green one. Oh, that's almost everything on my list. 8:18. Guess we got to go. I'm just teasing. I got something else to talk about with Antifa tactics. Like a little heavier topic. See what's blah, blah, blah. I'm getting a message from my folks. So I gave you the update on class stuff. That's that. I mentioned Antifa tactics, and Dustin pipes up and says he's listening. So last week they had the issue where the fella in the white Prius nudged and worked his way through a picket line, or whatever the fuck they're calling their let's block off traffic lines. And he didn't run anybody over. He didn't fucking bowling for people. None of that happened. He just kept working his way, nudging until they moved out of the way and he left, which has seemed to be a viable tactic up until this point. However, what we saw there was, I don't know if it was a news or a police helicopter that was following the whole thing. And then he's going and they're videoing, and a pickup truck full of Antifa, BLM, whatever the fuck they're calling themselves, I don't care, catches up to him, pulls in front to block his way, kind of slows him down to a stop. Then a motorcycle instantly pulled up beside him, giving most normal good people pause so that they wouldn't want to turn and run a dude over on a motorcycle. So that dude just came up and stopped beside them. And then another car came up behind them, and some dudes jumped out and were threw a skateboard through his windshield and that kind of, then they started, attacking the car. And by a few moments into that, a bunch of dudes on bikes were there too. Now that's pretty normal. They've been using bikes a lot, usually at the command level. The dudes on bikes are wearing radios, and they're helping guide, either scout or command the people on foot. But what we're seeing now is vehicles staged full of folks to act as like a quick reaction force, so that when somebody else, the opposition is in a vehicle and can break contact, they can launch after them. So they're a little more coordinated in that they have these vehicles on standby, which isn't super like coordinated, but they're obviously using radios to relay information to the folks in these vehicles, and the entire groups are organized well enough to know which vehicles are permitted to, like, they're going to open part to seize. All the people are going to get out of the way so that the Antifa vehicles can get through to chase down the people that they oppose. So it means that giant crowd of folks, they're not just not letting cars through, they're not letting most cars through, except for the ones that have been pre-selected to be allowed free travel. That tells me there's a fair amount of planning going into these, that we, and I say we as a big collective, not we as in like me or my group of folks I hang out with, but we haven't given them credit for, because now they're not just a bunch of essentially infantry folks. They have cavalry, and they are organized well enough to work as combined forces between the infantry and cavalry. And so that changes the scope of what you can expect to see on the ground, since they will be running at least a fair bit more vehicle operations amongst their rioting and looting. So that was a very interesting tidbit. Watching the video of it happen, it wasn't anything special as far as like the tactics that they employed. It was just that now that they're employing vehicle-borne tactics. That's a pretty big clue. I also saw today from some sources for lack of a better term, battle maps of post-election riot plans that the rioters have been disseminating amongst themselves to show areas in cities where it is safe for you to riot and loot and burn, where you're less likely to get cordoned off by law enforcement and then get arrested. Obviously, if law enforcement is smart, which it's 50-50 there, whether that happens or not, they're going to try to corral the looters and rioters into the areas where it's easiest for them to deal with them. And they're already disseminating maps of cities with areas, routes that are safe, ones that aren't as safe, and ones to avoid. So they are already on the ground in these locations, gathering information and turning that information into intelligence to help them avoid losing confrontations with their chosen enemy. So they're certainly way more advanced than the average gun guy gives them credit for. I don't think at this point the election really, like the outcome of it, is going to sway the rioting a whole lot. It may sway the where, it may sway the numbers involved, because some folks either way are going to lose heart for it, because they put too much focus on a presidential election. It's a shame that they don't get so involved in their city council election, because their city council affects their lives every single day, and the president usually doesn't. But whatever. So they put so much emphasis on that some may be quite emboldened, and some may lose heart from it. I don't know how that's going to play out. But they're certainly, it's being planned for post-election, regardless of the result. So post-election disrupting. What the fuck's the word for that? Disruption. There we go. Post-election disruption. At least by their documentation that they're disseminating amongst their, other rioters and whatnot. I refuse to call them protesters. So they are certainly, and here's the thing, like, I've been talking to folks for a couple of years, certainly since way back into the middle of the Obama administration, that there are forces at play who want to cause a lot of chaos and disruption, that are way more organized than the folks who want to live peacefully by the rule of law. And Dustin, the map of Philadelphia was shared with you today, if you know where to look on your Signal chats. So that's the Philly map. Carson, hello, sir. So the QRF tactics employed by Antifa and the them adding motorized cavalry to their mix is interesting, and the fact that they have documentation of intelligence leaking out. I mean, of course, shit's going to leak. There's too many people involved. It's the fucking internet. But the level of intel that they are putting together is concerning, because the people who they hate are not that organized. So like, if you have a prepper group or you are friends with some gun guys or any of that, go ask them if they have battle maps of cities where rioting may take place, that they have already gathered the intelligence of where the most dangerous places and the safest places are at. They're probably going to look at you like you got a dick growing out of your forehead. And the other side already has this information disseminated. It's not just that they're gathering it up, they've disseminated it. Hello, Jim. Hello, Jacob. Good to see everybody here. You just missed all the heavy talk about Antifa tactics and whatnot. And all the fun stuff was earlier. Like, we celebrated Becker's birthday. You guys were just late. And then we talked about other shit. And actually, my whole list is gone. So now it's up to you guys. Mike, hello, sir. Good to see you here as well. I have a screenshot of the Philly map. And the fella I got it from says there's a few other maps floating around already. I didn't ask for them. I didn't ask for the Philly one either. But I do have the Philly one that talks about areas where you will not likely, where they would not likely be corralled to be easily arrested. The places where that they should avoid at all costs, and then the ones that are just dangerous. I would assume that just about any large population center that has any portion of rioting, looting problem now, this intel is already out there. And Mr. Lefty, that is, I will try not to use your. Oh wait, you already said your name. I was gonna say, just in case you didn't want that out there. The PC that I'm on, I don't think I have a copy of that. I don't know if it's on my phone. If so, I can kind of hold my phone up and show you guys what I'm talking about. But maybe over here, if you give me a moment. See if I can't zoom in. So this is a map of Philadelphia with blue roads, which are safe to travel on, yellow roads, which are dangerous, and red roads, which are to be avoided, where you could easily get cornered and arrested. So that's what they're looking at. That's the kind of info they're already putting out. And we, like, not them, have copies of it too. So, like, what do they have that I don't have? Certainly they're putting more thought into what they're doing than we are into how to counter it. So yeah, that's that. Okay, catch up on comments. Make sure I didn't miss anything here. Austin hasn't Austin had some riding, or was that Dallas? I can't remember. If there's been some riding, I'm sure that map already exists. If there hasn't been, who knows? Yeah, and you know what? I put the post over on my alumni page with some pictures of the Minuteman gear, and I haven't. My plan last week was to film a video, and I didn't, and I apologize. And I probably should, because it might be useful to some folks, and we're kind of running out of time. In fact, backside. Minuteman video. That should be on my agenda tomorrow. So, but I just did a video today, so I'm feeling video-ish. That video will drop in like half an hour. Yeah, when I was taking those pictures, my mind was, the pictures will hold them over while I film a video. And I just got sidetracked trying to get things ready for the diagnostic class, and the video got pushed to the side. Yes, TJ, that is some ballistic gel back there. Those are 18-inch long 4x4 blocks. I'm hoping to be able to get, if I quarter them and aim well, I can get 4 rounds in each block. I have, without just not even counting the ones that Jason gave me, I got 3, 6. I only have 7 brands of all copper ammo, so that should be all right. If I can get 4 in each one of those, and then I can use Jason's for maybe some performance through clothing. You know, like get his is wider. It's like 6x6. It's only 16 inches long. So that if it goes out the back, I can't say for sure that it's not good. If it goes out the back of that one, it's not good. But yeah, we'll maybe use his to get some through clothing, and those ones bear just on the solid copper ammo. And Jason just said he has a fresh one he can use. So we will get that working once we get a day figured out. I thought, well, hey, maybe we'll do it this week, like the one that we're in now. And then as it turns out that I got a bunch of crap happening, and maybe not. So it might have to be pushed to the following week, which is the week of Dynamic Week, which not a great week to try and film a video, but it's definitely happening, and it's happening soon. We just got to figure out when. We have Virginia, mid-end of December. Mid-end of December. December's kind of a slow month up this way, because you can't count on the weather. We got a study group on the 20th. So, I mean, if you were up for that, you're more than welcome. Oh, nice. You were looking. Jason is looking for some limited edition military only bang for yours truly. I had a can here earlier. I must have finished it and took it with me. I do that. My wife will not believe you, but I do take my empties and throw them away once in a while. All right, no more. I'm good on comments. So that was that. Ballistics is happening soon. Minuteman video. I keep meaning to do my bug out shelter. And here's the thing, like sometimes I'll get real motivated to fuck with videos and I want to film a bunch. And then I won't feel like editing them because I'll feel like I've already done too much work. And then a week or so will go by and then I'll get in this kick on editing them. So I might be able to like bust out a couple videos in a row and then, have some actual content for a change instead of 1 or 2 videos a month. There was another video I was just going to, I'm going to call it my race gun. My M&P with the decked out Apex trigger kit, like the forward set sear, like their highest end trigger kit. It now has a red dot on the back too. So maybe a video on that pistol. I recorded a video on just the trigger, which is on this PC up here in the room that I film in. And my photo editing software is now on my computer in my office. So I literally have to come up with a thumb drive and pull it off before I go do it. Oh yes, truck setup, and not like overlanding off-road truck setup, but the other stuff, like after the bailout bag, but before the, like at the level between that and what you would do if you were going to go off-road, since I mostly don't go off-roading. Although I'm looking to change that next year if the world isn't on fire. Only downside of talking about a truck setup is you are advertising to a bunch of thieves what you got in your car that you leave unattended every night. But I guess the good part is I don't keep guns in there, so it's not like I'd be arming somebody. I would just have to make an insurance claim. Yes, TJ, that is the one with the tiny new hollow sun on it and the awesome trigger. It's weird. I had people ask me, why'd you do it on the compact gun and not the full size? If you were going to put all that, put a red dot on it, it's going to be big anyway. Because the gun I had that I didn't have anything done with was the compact. It was, I don't know, had maybe 2 magazines fired through it to make sure it functioned. And I bought it because it was a good deal. And actually, my buddy Jerry found a good deal. Someplace he was ordering from, like a local place. If they bought so many, they got a good deal. So I said, yeah, I'll take one too. And gave them the money for it. And then it just sat. So I was like, oh, there's the one. That's the one that's going to get the fancy shit added to it. It just wasn't a 4-inch or 4.5 inch. It was just the 4. Grip tape, all the things. Yes, indeed. So there is my vehicle tip and trick for people. Everywhere you will put your feet in the vehicle, some skateboard tape works wonders. So like across the bottom of the door in my truck and my last truck and the truck before that, I put skateboard tape. So even if my feet were wet and I push the door open and then use my foot to prop it so that I could get out with like a gun in my hand, my foot would grab the door and push it and not slip and slide all over the place. And then things like door handles and shit, like the thing that you would reach up and grab to open the door, I wrap glow-in-the-dark tape around it, not because I don't know where the fucking doorknob is. I know where it is. It's so that if you're in my truck and we roll over in the dark and you're trying to get out, even though I might have been decapitated, when the gas is leaking in and it's about to explode like it does on TV, you can find the glow-in-the-dark handle and open it up. Because I care about you guys. That's where I do a little heart thing. Care about you. Yes, glow-in-the-dark for fire extinguishers. I have one on every floor of the house, and there is glow-in-the-dark tape around the bottom of all of them. Karma tells me that as long as I have a fire extinguisher and I've marked it so I can find it in the dark, I'll never need it. Because that's how that works. The things you don't plan for happen to you, and the things you do plan for don't. I'm completely bone dry on that. Good thing I was going to cut it a little early for you guys tonight so you can watch the debates. Can't remember what the fuck it was called. For those of you who are here, yes, I'm not interested in watching debate. I don't even have television, so. See, TJ can tell you it works. There's the doorknob. How about that? Where was I going with that? Debates. Oh yeah, I don't even have TV. I assume it's probably on the internet too, but it's a bunch of stupidness. And I'm sure the funny parts will be all over the internet tomorrow. I expect some good memes from the retardedness that will transpire. So I'm not going to watch them. I will just catch the memes in the morning. I guess the downside is I only get memes about how stupid Biden was. I don't expect him to do well at all. But let's be honest. Trump is not the fella who speaks without ever having a gaffe. The downside, though, is that the left can't meme for fuck. So there won't be any good Trump memes. It'll just be good Biden memes. So I don't know. The libertarians seem to meme the best, so we'll see what they got. I saw a meme today scrolling through one of the social medias that I was on. I caught up on Twitter today too. I don't usually do that, but some leftist meme said something about Trump and not paying taxes, and I don't even know the whole story behind it. And like they had their little thing about, nobody should pay taxes if that's the way you're going to look at it. And I thought, are you sure you're trying to make fun of Trump? Because that's the point. Like, nobody should be paying taxes. It's literally fucking theft. Yes. The Joe's memes, not that JoJo's memes. The people that support her, they're on point with the making fun of everyone. Yes, luminous tape. So I have some actual Duck brand duct tape that is glow in the dark that works pretty well for being real flexible like duct tape. It's not the same plasticky stuff that duct tape is. It's like the cloth part that's inside duct tape is the whole duct tape. So it's clothy on the outside. Probably something to do with what material is luminescent. It is not as good as like the safety tape that you find in a factory that has the doors marked. But that stuff is usually it's usually glossy, but it's a thicker plastic, a little more firm, so it doesn't wrap as well. That stuff works the best. And I don't know if Carson is still on here or not, but he had a link to the shit that's fucking awesome. The stuff that I had that looked like that just wouldn't wrap around like the doorknob on my, the little pull lever on my truck. It wasn't flexible enough to wrap around. Not saying that there isn't flexible stuff that well. It's just most of the like power plants and shit that I've been in that had that kind of tape marking stairwells and emergency exits and that kind of shit. It was a much more rigid, hard tape. So it wasn't great for like wrapping around something small. Jeff, I agree completely. The good stuff that I had that looked just like the shit Carson had, I don't have any more of it, and I can't tell you what brand it was. I can't even tell you where where to purchase it, although Carson had a link for it, because when I got mine, it was from the maintenance department at a power plant in Long Island. They hooked me up with a couple of rolls of it. What's weird though, that it wasn't like on like a duct tape roll, it was on like a big roll, but it wasn't like the hole was big too. And I assumed it was just because it wasn't flexible enough to be wrapped real tight. But it's all gone. I used it years ago, and now I've just resorted to the duct tape. And I think I have like 2 rolls of that left, and that apparently duct doesn't make that anymore either. So it might be down to paint if I have something small that needs to be glow in the dark. So I got quarter of. That's 15 minutes until I almost said the election. 15 minutes until the debate. 15 minutes until the latest YouTube video drops right here on this channel. Although, if you guys have been paying attention, it just talks about photo loom. That's the ticket. What was I going to say? I got sidetracked. Oh, yeah. The diagnostics development team. That's all the video's about. It's just to let people know that that's a thing. The fellas who it's open to already know it, but it's to let everybody else know that there's after value to the class as well. I don't even know when that class is next year. I think I have a list in front of me that I talked about like 3 weeks ago. September of next year, but there might be, I might find a way to squeeze some more in before that. The first development team for some force, I want to be, I thought maybe like next month, but next month's really fucking busy. Like every weekend has some stuff going on, and maybe I might be able to squeeze something in next month. I just can't promise. And then the downside to gas operated airsoft is if you're outdoors, the colder it gets, the worse that shit works. So that might put a hurting on things later, after October, but we'll see. All right. So that's what I got for these updates. You got my whole list of shit. I made myself a list of things to get on the YouTubes. I just fired up, a friend of mine gave me a GoPro Hero 5 Black, and it seems pretty cool. So maybe I'll try and find some way to get that in there with multiple angles and whatnot. It won't be for the ballistics testing. I think there I'm going to use my phone beside the gel because it has like that super slow-mo mode. And when you do it with super slow-mo, you don't get a whole lot of other camera options, because cell phone cameras are not DSLRs, but I'll probably use it just because it has a built-in super slow mode for beside the blocks. But I'm going to try and work a couple extra camera angles in, I think, on the next few things just to entertain myself with. But regardless, I got a couple things on my agenda. Talk to you fellas about some great things. Hopefully put some thought into the battle plans for rioting. You might live somewhere where that's not a high likelihood of happening, but knowing in your hometown the areas that you could get cornered in is probably something that you should have thought out long before you're in a running gunfight like Kyle Rittenhouse. Like that would be terrible to be in I have to run for my life and I don't know where all the shitty spots are to run to. Yes, I will. So the GoPro I got, Jeff has like a head mount, a chest mount, a bunch of different mounts. And Benjamin's got some GoPros. Maybe there's just so little few things in Dynamic Week we can film, but maybe I'll just get some student footage from that and just hand them out and say, hey, wear this. We'll see how it goes. All right. So with that, I got 8:50. I am going to check out of here. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Next Tuesday will be the last Tuesday night live stream for a bit because the following Tuesday I will be in class. that will be dynamic week. So I will not be back here at my house in order to do a live stream. But I'll be back the week after that. So you guys enjoy the shit out of the debate. And I will see you all in next Tuesday. Some of you I might see before that. So take it easy, and I'll catch you around on the next one.